Welcome back. I'm Cory.
And I'm Wallace.
And we're an early retired couple that are traveling the world. At the moment, we're in Hong Kong.
And today we are here back in Central, which is the main downtown area on Hong Kong Island. We're going to grab some breakfast from this place right behind us right now. It's called Cory and Waffle, which you found on the Find Me Gluten-Free app.
Yeah, so we'll show you what it's all about and let you know how it is.
All of the places that Cory is finding on the Find Me Gluten-Free app are rated very highly. When I pull this place up on TripAdvisor, it's ranked, user reviews rank it 157 out of 13,274 restaurants in Hong Kong. So again, a very high ranking. We'll see how the food is. What I've seen come out to the other tables, it looks okay. The table next to us has some hash browns though on the plate, which kind of looks meh, but we'll see. Our meals arrived. We've just ordered one thing to share. I don't know if Cory mentioned that already. This is a banana Foster waffle, which is a rum and cinnamon flambéed banana served with a waffle with a chocolate syrup drizzle and some ice cream, which we actually got on the side because we didn't want the ice cream melting and getting the waffle all cold. And this is a buckwheat waffle, so it is gluten-free, which means Cory can have this without any issues. So I'm just gonna try the waffle here on its own. Ooh. That's not bad at all, though. It's, I was worried it was going to be dense, but it's actually still quite light. A little bit crispy on the outside. Get that little bit of chocolate syrup, so it's not bad. And try a bit with the banana here. That's pretty good.
This is really, really good. It's crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and it's cooked really well. I'm pretty picky about waffles, so yeah, and it's just the right amount of sweetness.
And as you can see from the empty plate, we finished everything. It was delicious.
So what do you think of green waffle?
I enjoyed it. You know, I've never had a buckwheat waffle before, and that was actually much better than I expected. For a gluten-free waffle, it was light and crispy and nice and soft on the inside, not dense and doughy. So, yeah.
So as you can hear, Healy even liked it. I really liked it. I would definitely put it on the recommendation list. So, yeah, overall, we're having really good luck with gluten-free, and I'm not struggling at all. So it's a really nice, unexpected surprise.
Yeah. So now we're gonna wander around in Central for a little bit, kill a little bit of time. This was a pretty late breakfast for us, though. This was more brunch and we only had a little bit of food. We've got another food stop planned for lunch in a little while. And after that, we're gonna take you guys to Ocean Park. So this part of Hong Kong is really hilly. It's just the topography of the island that we're on right now. And as we're walking around down in Central here, you got all these narrow streets that are closed off to traffic, and you just got these little markets here all over the place. Fresh fruits and vegetables. And what else do we have over there? There's a butcher shop over there, fresh meat. And more markets just along both sides of the street here. Very colorful. Produce looks really good, actually.
It smells amazing in here. At the beginning, it smelled like really fresh spices. Now it just smells like really good produce. If we were shopping for ourselves, we'd probably end up shopping here and get all our day-to-day stuff here.
Got lots of dried goods too. Nuts and dried Chinese sausages. And this market just keeps going. It's like 3 or 4 blocks worth of them. We're back now on the central mid-levels escalator, heading back up because
The restaurant is at the top.
and yeah, so we'll just go wander around that area again a little bit. It's, you know, as far as method of moving people around, it's pretty decent to have because otherwise, like I said, this area is pretty hilly and those streets can get steep.
Well, here's the thing. There's not escalators everywhere. And if you're disability at all, you're going to struggle.
Because I think you mentioned this yesterday, there's no escalator to go down. So if you do manage to get up and you're mobility challenged, getting back down's gonna suck because it's all stairs.
Yeah, there was a gentleman yesterday that was severely disabled, barely could walk, and he was trying to go downstairs. It looked like a really big struggle for him, so I felt really bad.
So you can see from the angle of the railing here, relative to the buildings in front of us across the street there, just how steep this escalator can get. We've made it to our lunch stop. This is Madame Fu Grand Café Chinois. This is another restaurant that we found through the Find Me Gluten-Free app, and this is Chinese food. Looks like fairly traditional Chinese food, so this will be, I think, the first time in a long time that Cory will have had any dim sum. So excited to see what this place is like and if it lives up to expectations.
Prior to getting diagnosed with celiac, which was the first year that me and Wallace were together, I think we went for dim sum at least 3 or 4 times together. So my recollection of dim sum is very limited. It's been about 18 years since I've had dim sum. I do remember the one thing that I do still miss was the custard buns, which is obviously not going to be an option. So we're just going to do regular dim sum and see what it's like. We got our drinks. We both went with mocktails. I went with OnlyFans. It has passion fruit, mango juice, caramel, and pineapple juice. It's pretty. Honestly, nothing special. It just tastes like a mix of fruit juices.
And I've gone with the chrysanthemum bee's knees, which is chrysanthemum, honey, and tonic water. That's actually pretty good. Definitely get the chrysanthemum and honey, and then you get a little bit of the bitterness from the tonic water cutting through that. It's an interesting drink, actually. I quite like that. Our first dish is here, and this is a pan-fried bean curd roll with vegetables and mushrooms. So you can see the inside of that. It's all crispy on the outside and just full of nice savory vegetables. Ooh. Oh, it's really nice. A lot of mushrooms and shiitake mushrooms, that sort of thing. Diced vegetables. The bean curd skin is really crispy and flavorful. Really savory. Yeah, it's really tasty.
So again, we're sharing all the dishes. This will be my first time having this in a ever. Wow, they made that crispy and really good and very flavorful.
So this item is not gluten-free, so Cory can't have this one. This is a crispy duck and green onion pancake. It's a little different than I expected, honestly. And this should be some hoisin sauce to dip in, so I'm gonna try this. It's not quite what I expected. It's a much harder, crunchier pancake the way it's been fried, but really good flavor though. Really savory duck and green onion, and then the sweetness from the oyster sauce. Pretty good.
I got the creamy squash mushroom soup. Soups are hard for me because a lot of times I avoid it because there's wheat to thicken. So it's always a nice surprise when I can get soup. And it's very strong on the mushroom, not a whole lot on the squash. And it's very bitter. It's actually not that good.
We've got some more gluten-free options now. What we have here is a spinach and cheese dumpling. Over here is scallop and chive, and underneath of that is a mushroom dumpling. And this one is a pork siumai, which is not gluten-free, not vegetarian, so that one's just for me. So I think Cory wants me to do the taste test, so I'm gonna try one each of these. This is the spinach and cheese. Sorry, they're sticking to the liner there. A little bland. However, the wrapper that they've done, I don't know if you can see that. For a gluten-free wrapper, it's really good. I've never encountered that in a gluten-free version of dim sum before. The spinach one's just lacking a little in flavor, so I'm gonna dip it in a little bit of my chili oil here. It's not bad, honestly. The next one here is the scallop and chive dumpling. See that? Same translucent wrapper. There'll be a different filling, of course. That's good. You got the chives, you got some scallop, and I'm pretty sure there's shrimp in there too. That's a very good flavor profile. Fairly authentic compared to non-gluten-free. I like that one. And then I'm just gonna grab one of these mushroom dumplings here. Again, that's a delicious filling. It's savory, it's mushrooms, carrots. I think there's bamboo shoots in there. Really savory with a really good seasoning and really tasty. And finally, I'll do one of my pork siumai. These, of course, are just the traditional siumai. It's just pork, sometimes a little bit of shrimp chopped up in there, wrapped in this little wrapper, and then there's some crab roe on top. Really firm, well cooked, and yeah, pretty flavorful. I'm pretty happy. That's very good.
Well, I let Wallace go first because he has a frame of reference of like what dim sum's supposed to taste like. So let's try. That one's kind of flavorless. It's just spinach and whatever cheese they're using has no flavor. What's that one?
Scallop and chive.
The scallop and chive. They did a really good job. And it has a lot of flavor to it. And this is the mushroom. That one's really flavorful. Mushroom always brings like a different flavor to it. Texture-wise, the gluten-free wrapper is pretty good. It's a little gummy, but that's expected. We decided to go for dessert. Usually we don't. We got a dark chocolate cake with a mandarin orange. Let's see. It doesn't have the cake texture. I think this is more of a mousse, and I just think it was lost in translation. Let's find out. Now keep in mind, I am not a huge fan of like pre-made desserts. This has the texture and the flavor of more like almost fudge, but it's got the flavor of like a pre-made frozen dessert. So in my books, it's not a big winner.
It is a flourless cake, I think is the problem. So it's a very, very dense texture. Not quite fudge-like, but definitely not cakey. It's definitely got a good rich chocolate flavor to it. And then I'm gonna try some with the orange here. With the orange sauce, it does help, gives it a little bit of acidity, brightens it up a bit. I like it. It's not cake though, and I think Cory was hoping for cake today. It's the unfortunate fact. So what did you think of Madame Foo's?
My honest opinion, unless you're if you're celiac and you're wanting to try dim sum, or if you miss it because your previous you ate it previously to being diagnosed, it maybe fits the bill. Overall, I would not highly recommend it.
Yeah, that meal was good. Not great though. We're in Hong Kong. For example, you can get much better quality dim sum for a lot cheaper. That price tag was 1,075 Hong Kong dollars, which works out to about 193 Canadian, and that is very pricey for a meal like that. That is not something that I would consider to be good or even fair value, and normally we wouldn't do something like that. It was, however, the only place that served gluten-free dim sum, which was the whole point of coming out here today, was to try that. So for that, you know what, it is what it is. Would we come here again? No.
No, if we lived in Hong Kong, this would be a one-off, and probably never again. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. So I think that's where we're gonna leave it. We're gonna now head over to Ocean Park and go explore that for the rest of the afternoon. Welcome to Ocean Park. Ocean Park is an animal theme park that is Hong Kong's largest and oldest theme park, and it opened in January of 1977. And we are just at the front gates. We still have to go in here, get some tickets, and we'll show you around inside. 428 Hong Kong dollars each later. We are in Ocean Park. So the park is divided into two main areas. This waterfront area here, and then also a summit area that's over like top of another mountain that we're gonna go over. You can kind of see the mountain in the background behind us right now. And the two sides of the park are separated by either a funicular or a cable car gondola system, which we're gonna take over there later. And the park consists of a number of exhibits. There's a giant panda exhibit, a really cool aquarium exhibit, as well as others, and also amusement park rides and lots of food and vendors and things like that. So we're just gonna get in, wander around, and just show you some of the highlights. Oh, I should also mention, I've been here before. Ocean Park was one of my favorite things as a kid when we would come to visit Hong Kong, as I was a little bit older. So we left Hong Kong when I was 2 years old, of course. Cory has never been here before, so this will be her first time experiencing this today.
And we're going to the Grand Aquarium.
That'll be our first stop here today. Oh, pretty. That's a pretty cool tank. As far as aquariums go, that was pretty neat.
I've seen a hammerhead, I've seen rays, I've seen, oh, look at him. That's a manta.
It's really hard to capture the scale on the GoPro, but this tank is pretty big.
There's a manta ray in here, and
Right
here he
there.
comes. He's so beautiful. And we're headed into the giant panda exhibit.
So bad news, unfortunately, the giant panda exhibit is closed. They're apparently closing early every day because the new mama is still nursing the baby, and so they closed the exhibit down at 3 p.m. It's currently 3:55. We didn't know this, so nothing we can do, I'm afraid.
Although I respect that they do that.
Yeah.
As I said, zoos have come a long way, and that is very respectful. So I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah.
I think this is supposed to be reminiscent of old Hong Kong.
Yeah, the signage everywhere. I mean, there's not enough neon, but yeah, that's kind of neat. So they've kind of made the funicular look like the inside of an old steampunk style submarine, I think, with the blue tinted windows to look like submarine portholes. It's kind of hokey, but what are you gonna do, right? So we're up at the top here, which is Cory's having some gummy bears. There's mostly the rides, roller coasters, and all that other stuff. And then here you can see the cable car that came from the lower section over the mountain, kind of down and over to this part of the park. We'll get on that for the way down. They've just announced that there's long queues for that, so we'll probably end up paying for the fast pass. So this area is all the rides. It's probably really loud right now. Don't know if you can hear me properly. Got a big queue for the bumper cars here. And then this roller coaster, Hair Raiser, looks pretty intense. Big loop there. There's another roller coaster up here, the Arctic Blast, and a North Pole Encounter. Not sure what that is. I kind of want to do that big roller coaster over there, but I don't know if it's worth it.
I can't do roller coasters anymore. There was one time me and my friend that we were in West Edmonton Mall, and we did the roller coaster many times, and we both ended up really sick.
Like throwing up on the sidewalk sick.
And ever since then, I can't handle them. I did one in Vietnam, and it did me in for the rest of the night. And I really want to enjoy myself here.
Yeah, I don't get quite so sick, so we'll see. I may still decide to do that one. Maybe not.
I'm jealous because I really do want to do them.
The North Pole Encounter. No idea what this is about. Oh, they've got seals. Something just occurred to me. This North Pole Encounter exhibit I've never seen before, but that's because the last time I was here was probably 20 odd years ago. And at that point, instead of the Grand Aquarium exhibit down by the waterfront area, now we're up at the summit, and this used to be the Atoll Reef exhibit. So you used to come in, and in this building you would see, instead of this pool with the seals behind me, you'd see the top of the reef and all the fish from top down. And then we're gonna go circle around, and we're gonna go down below and to another observation area. And before, you used to be able to see the lower levels of the reef, except now I think we're just gonna see seals. So yeah, that's kind of cool. The Atoll Reef that I remember isn't really here, but it sort of still is, because this is the same building that they're just repurposing. I know, but I don't want to shoot through the glass. And as usual, when you exit any of these exhibits, you come out through a gift shop. And we're just gonna check out this South Pole Spectacular exhibit behind us. We'll just run through real quick and see what it's about. It's really cold in here. It's air conditioned like crazy, and that's because there's penguins behind us.
I think they're Empire penguins, if I'm not mistaken.
Emperor.
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 Yeah.
They're not Emperor, yeah. But yeah, definitely South Pole vibes here because it's really cold right now. Correction, these were not Emperor penguins. We've got king penguins, southern rockhopper penguins, and Gentoo penguins, or Gentoo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So the lineup for the cable car to go down was crazy, at least 50 minutes. We took the easy way out. We paid 200 Hong Kong dollars, equivalent to about 36 Canadian in total for two of us to do a fast pass and bypass the line. So now we're actually going to catch the cable car for sunset from the looks of it, and it looks like it's going to be a beauty. Not sure what's going on. They've got this set of cable cars going, but there is another line over there that's not running, so not sure what the deal is, but that's probably why they're so busy today with the cable cars. Thank you.
Do we seriously get this to ourselves? We
Yep.
do!
We get our own car.
I wasn't expecting that. I figured they'd cram us all in.
So Cory and I have our own cable car, which explains why the lineups today have been an hour long at the base and another 50 minutes at the top here to get back down. These cars seat 6 passengers, and they're only putting 2 or 3 in each car.
This is incredibly peaceful. This was worth it.
Hi. Don't know if you guys can see me. It's kind of tight in here. So I had said earlier that, you know, this old Hong Kong area with the signage was trying to be like Hong Kong, except it was lacking the neon. Well, now as it starts to get dark, the neon signs have been lit up. So there you have it.
They have a sloth exhibit. I love sloths, so we're gonna go take a look.
Clearly, this is the little kids area. You can kind of see, you know, there's kids running all around behind us, little kids rides. Definitely would have been fun as a smaller child. A lot of activity going on.
I mean, if you have children, this is definitely a good place to bring them.
I think that does it for our trip here to Ocean Park today. What'd you think?
Education-wise, I would say they are trying, but overall, I would say it's a better experience zoo/aquarium than most aquariums in there.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You know, it wasn't perfect. There was definitely some animals that were in too small of an enclosure, in our opinion. However, they did do a fairly good job with, you know, education, and there is very obvious consideration for the welfare of the animals, like with the giant panda exhibit and the meerkats, where they have those areas closed early just for the welfare of the animals. So I can respect that. I think for me, it was a little bit much in terms of the noise all day. There's music blaring everywhere, just loudspeakers going, announcements going all over the place, and I don't recall that from my previous visits here, so it was a lot of sensory overload, which I wasn't a big fan of, but that might also just be a sign of me getting old.
I don't know why amusement parks, I don't know, we haven't been to any amusement parks lately, but I don't know why they insist on having music that's way too loud all the time blaring. I don't know why that's a thing.
So yeah, I mean, no park that has animals in it is going to be perfect. There's always going to be some controversy surrounding, you know, the fact that, you know, it's a zoo or an aquarium. All we can do is show you what we saw here today and let you decide for yourself if this is something you want to come do or not. And either way, you know, I can respect that decision. So thank you guys for coming along today. I think we're gonna go and get some dinner now. We're back in Central and walking towards our next destination for dinner, which is
pizza. It's called the Pizza Project. I found it on Buy Me Gluten-free app, and it's got a 4.5-star rating, so we're gonna go check it out. We've got lucky so far, so I'm in the mood for pizza.
So pizza it is. This place is super cute, and we've got a nice little corner table here, and the menu looks good. They've got gluten-free pizza base for pretty much every option, so this should be pretty tasty.
I got the pomelo, which is grapefruit, tonic, and rosemary, and let's try. Oh, that is lovely. The tonic it cuts the sweetness of the grapefruit, and it's amazing.
So we got the caprese salad to start. We're just going to share. It's cherry tomatoes, buffalo mozzarella, basil, oregano, and pesto, and olive oil from the looks of it. And it looks absolutely fantastic. We'll pop a picture up on the screen.
Those tomatoes are amazing.
That's beautiful. So that's legit buffalo mozzarella. It's just smooth and creamy. The flavor is incredible. Yep, Cory agrees because she's speechless right now. That's amazing. And I'm gonna try the bread because Cory, of course, can't. It looks like just a focaccia. A little rosemary on top. I mean, nothing special. It's just rosemary focaccia, but it's really good.
I got the margarita. It's a pre-made crust. We asked what brand.
Yes, it's okay.
Here you go, the margarita, and this is the gluten-free too.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's the char base, which I've had before. The pizza, it's well made. The cheese is, well, you saw it stretch, and it's everything you want a margarita pizza to be.
I also went for the margarita pizza. Normal crust, of course, not gluten-free. Just felt like something classic today, so it's just a simple tomato sauce, fior di latte, cheese, basil, and yeah, just very classic, very clean flavors. Oh, and sorry, grana padano cheese as well. So I'm gonna just get into this. Oh, this is gonna, the crust is really thin, so I'm just gonna support it with a fork here. It's a very thin crust, so it's a little bit wet in the middle. That cheese is super fresh. Yeah, that's really tasty. We just got an explanation from the one of the waitress servers. The reason that mine looks a little different than Cory's is because the gluten-free base, the pizza base, is pre-cooked. They don't have to put it in the oven for as long or as hot to cook it through, which means the cheese doesn't get the same melt as mine did, unfortunately. Just sadly, one of the drawbacks to gluten-free. Nothing they can do about that, and it's just something that Cory has to live with, I'm afraid.
Anybody who's gluten-free knows this complication very well. But the oil does add a lot of flavor to it, so.
Besides that, though, the regular pizza itself is fantastic. Not accounting for the crust and the gluten-free crust difference. The quality of the ingredients here is top-notch. The fior di latte cheese is super fresh, super creamy, fresh basil. The tomato sauce has flavor. It's simple, but it is what it's supposed to be. So really tasty. We're gonna pound back the rest of this and keep going.
So the staff here was amazing. I didn't know it was a char pizza crust. I thought that because it had such a high rating, I thought that they made their own gluten-free pizza crust. But anyway, so I was just chatting with them, saying it was kind of like flavorless and like cardboard-like, and not that that was their fault by any stretch of the imagination, because we all know gluten-free, it's always that way. But I was just expressing my frustration with having to be upcharged for that, and it's still being not that great. But we were just chatting, and actually, they are losing money. They're just offering gluten-free,
Yeah.
but their cost is actually higher than the 40 Hong Kong dollar.
Yeah, so their cost to buy that gluten-free crust is more than the upcharge they charge the customer to have that gluten-free pizza. So they're technically losing money on that, but they're doing it just to have that option available for their gluten-free customers, which I can respect that at least. And the reason they don't try to do a gluten-free crust in-house is because of the high risk of cross-contamination, because of course with all the other pizza dough they're making, that's much higher risk, and they don't want that liability. They don't want to accidentally get a customer sick, because that would not be good for them. So we actually chatted with both the manager and the assistant manager, and they were both very lovely to talk to, very understanding of Cory's concerns, and in fact we just did a shot of limoncello with both of them.
We've never had limoncello, but they both came over and had a shot with us, and it's really good.
Yeah,
actually.
so I mean, bottom line, I like this place. My pizza, of course, was fantastic. Probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had. The gluten-free crust notwithstanding, the quality of the ingredients, top-notch. So highly recommend it for that if you're looking for a good Italian meal.
I mean, if you live in Hong Kong, I wouldn't recommend it simply because you can buy the sharp pizza crust at home.
For gluten-free, yeah.
Make it to your liking way better. But if you're traveling through and you have no kitchen and you're craving pizza, this is an option. Just know that you're getting the sharp pizza crust, and at least the quality of the ingredients are good.
And realistically, it's probably your best option in Hong Kong for pizza, for gluten-free.
As far as pizza went, I think there was only like 2 on the Find Me Gluten Free app. 1 or 2, and this one had pretty good ratings, so that's why we chose it. Of course, we don't live here, so we're not going to every restaurant, and we're not taking the time to like really get to know the area, so it is what it is. We got dessert. It's white chocolate mousse.
White chocolate mousse with nuts and a raspberry coulis or jam. Yeah, coulis sauce. So
She said to mix it together, but we're gonna try it with like everything once. Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
I'm gonna mix it.
Very creamy. You get the sweetness from the jam, a little crunch from the nuts.
Yeah, that's creamy and like just delicious.
I agree.
And that wraps up day number 2 in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it was a long day, another long day, and we've got another long day tomorrow, but it was a lot of fun. We had great weather, had
food.
really good food. No complaints on my end.
No, it was a lot of walking, and I love exploring, so this is awesome.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go wander back to the central station and grab an MRT back to our hotel. Sorry, the light's all weird here because we're just walking underneath in between buildings. But thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed this day in Hong Kong with us. If you did, please hit the thumbs up to give us a like, and feel free to subscribe.
And we hope that you join us in our next video for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.